This is Redemption, a live play podcast set in the Star Wars Edge of the Empire role-playing game system.
You guys get to Ruusan. You get the typical hail. You respond back.
I'll if I hear the chirp of the comm, I'll run up to the cockpit.
A1 is standing right outside the cockpit, just looking at it. Looks back. Nothing happened.
Were you really just standing there watching the cockpit for 2 hours?
You told me to watch the cockpit.
Really need to choose different words.
So let's work on not taking things so absolutely literally. So I will go into the cockpit, answer the hail. Krauts Fang requesting clearance to dock.
You are cleared to see Senator Rafe on platform 22A.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I will take a seat and get us over to platform 22A. Would you like me to roll?
Sure. Easy check.
2 successes.
All right, you land just where you want to be on the platform.
In my gunnery pod, do I see crazy Wookie Poodoo Eye lady?
Nope.
Or just Wraith?
You see a group of security officers and Rafe.
Cool.
Rafe is a human male. What was he? Mid 40s. Fairly average, plain looking. Nothing that jumps out as real. No standing or stark features. He's wearing a black outfit.
Hey, one work on getting us refueled and restocked. It was a relatively short trip, but if you could take care of that for us while we're getting other preparations made. Has anyone woken our friend on the couch?
No, I can do that. I climb out of the pod, shut the bay door, and go.
On your way back, Kaio, check on Karrell.
Sure, no problem. I go and I check to see. I assume she's woken.
When we drop it off hyperspace, she went and is in the engine room putzing around.
All right, I'll check on her in a second. So I make sure that the passenger is awake, and we're here, Ruusan. We're gonna most likely hand you over to Senator to be able to talk about your defenses and things like that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And then I leave and I go. I hear clanking, or tapping, whatever you happen to be doing. Keyboarding in the engine room. So I knock.
So you basically, if you knock and stick your head in, she's looking at a map of the galaxy.
Just making sure you obviously felt that we got out of hyperspace.
Yes.
All right.
She shuts the map off when she sees you looking.
You all right?
Yep.
Well,
I could be lying about that too, though.
We generally have been lately to me. So, I mean, at this point, I don't know what is going on with you. And again, I was only talking to you because I wanted to help you, but you obviously don't want to talk about it, which is fine. But you could just say, I don't want to talk about it, and I would move on.
I don't want to talk about it.
Moving on. Look at how that works. Isn't that great? I'm going to go away now. Just letting you know we're on our way to Ruusan.
We've dropped out of hyperspace.
That's it. Walking away. Kaio walks away.
I was actually wondering if you were going to keep staying there going,
No.
I'm walking away.
Walking away. No.
Walking away.
He understands emotions fairly well as a Nautilon, so he's literally just walking away.
Everybody prepare for debarking. We got to meet this guy, get her off ship, and get out of here.
I go to the patient and I scoop her up gingerly to not jostle her too much.
She's awake.
Right, but
So.
I don't or help her up however she feels comfortable being.
Do you guys exit the ship?
You feel the shudder of the ship as the feet touch ground, and you'll hear the and you hear the main loading dock door
ramp?
drop down ramp. Thank you. The ramp drop down and clank hard on the
Ferrocrete.
Sure.
Wraith walks up. Thank you for coming. And the information you have?
We've brought a guardsman that we
Tazi.
rescued from...
So she did kind of seem like she did understand this is she's going to talk about defenses and things like that. And then I could tell you a little bit about the Yinchorri if you'd like.
That would be nice.
We've got sensor scans from when we were leaving.
Right. We did know it was planet-wide. It was not a small invasion at all.
Very well.
But they don't do small.
Definitely landing ships and fighters.
True. Yeah. We fought off some of those on our way out.
Interesting. Let's go in to my private quarters. We can talk there.
So are we at a spaceport then, or...?
Yeah. You're in one of the major cities.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they didn't name any on the planet, so...
That's fine. Spaceport City.
Spaceport City. It's my favorite place to go to. This is my favorite store on the Citadel. Anyway, sorry.
He brings you to his private estate or private quarters there in town. Not like out in the country or anything weird like that.
Where we could get easily murdered. You can get easily murdered anywhere in Star Wars.
It's not technically it'd be easy.
Less work.
Less murdery.
Less
cleanup.
This is way less murdery than everyone else is going to take. This is good.
Why is this room lined in plastic?
Easy cleanup. What?
I don't like germs.
Oh, gosh.
It's a nice office. So what has happened on the planet?
Karrell.
I didn't happen on the planet.
All right. So basically, it looked like
the Yinchorri attack.
Right.
Yes.
It looked like basically as we were exiting the planet, multiple dropships landed on a planet that we were on. It was the Yinchorri. They did what they normally do. They launched a bunch of dropships with their giant, creepy, turtle-looking creatures, people. And
The warrior cast, that's what you called them.
Yeah, the warrior cast, and unleashed hell on that planet. And so, as we were leaving, which I told we should do hastily, we came upon the broken leg woman and saved her life. Got on the ship, flew away. Called you because we heard that this planet has dealings with that planet in so many words.
It's a marketplace. We do business with marketplaces.
Right, so I figured you'd want to not have a planet, go under the thumb of the Yinchorri, especially so mildly close to your planet and system.
I'm not familiar with these creatures.
There are two different castes. There's the breeders and the warriors. They fought against the Jedi about 10 years ago. In what they called the Yinchorri uprising. Not really sure what exactly happened, but they basically were suddenly decided that they wanted to expand their small few planets that they had, and they did so with no mercy. And they were put down by a group of the galactic forces that were still kind of around, and with a large contingency of Jedi, including Master Windu and a number of those.
Picture a Trandoshan.
Make him
Make
bigger.
him a few feet bigger, a few feet wider, and give him kind of a large,
That's
beakish type of a face.
Pretty much.
And the strength to rip people in half.
Literally
Physically.
in half.
that's sounds terrifying.
Oh yeah, no, and forgot to mention, they also are a little like Nautilons, only in the reverse, where we can feel your emotions, they can actually impose emotion. And they're really good at doing that with fear.
While this conversation is going on, Tazi's going to kind of slip out of the room for a minute, head back to the ship, and pick up the samples of weapons we pulled from the ones we defeated, and bring them back.
As you start slipping, where are you going?
There's something on the ship that pertains to this. I'm going to go grab it real quick and come right back.
Very well. 2 guys escort you out. Security guards. Not like they're sneaking. They're very obviously walking.
It's
with you.
a simple trip. It's just back to the ship. It'll take a few minutes, but it'll
He obviously has to have them help him carry this stuff.
seriously.
He's so weak. If you could see his...
I can barely pick up one of those sabers.
This is unfortunate. He looks at the lady. Ma'am,
Yes?
what can you tell me?
Not much more. I mean, we were dispatched to fight them, and, well, we didn't do so well.
You could tell him about the defenses of your planet, right? I mean, you would know at least a modicum of information.
Most of it is private security forces that each business has. We were just there to enforce the laws.
How many people were inside of your troop or battalion or whatever you called it?
We had 300 officers that worked out of my precinct.
Was that just for your city, or was that just your area of your city?
Just our area.
So there will be more in the city than that. Is that a rough estimate, about 300 per area?
Yes.
Do you know how many areas were inside the city?
20.
All right. So, and how is that on other cities of the planet? Is that similar?
Yes.
All right. So, how many cities are on that planet?
How many cities do you want there to be?
All right. So there's going to be 30 cities on that planet.
Okay.
So you've got
30. So if I'm right, the planet's supposed to be just one giant marketplace.
Right.
So we'll say there's 600 precincts.
So there's like
1,800 to let's say 2,000 security forces.
okay.
It's about 2,000 total security.
So that's what they got. It does not look like they have any kind of ship-to-ship capability.
No, we deal in commerce, and we don't usually get attacked because people understand that if you cut down the centers for trade, then you cut your own money.
Right. So that's what you're working with, Rafe.
There were private security forces there, but
I don't think they're expecting fighting 7-foot reptile creatures.
not many people are.
No. And no one, even if you do know what you're going after, are usually prepared to see what you do.
How do you know so much about these?
I studied a lot in school. Do you want me to try?
A red and 2 greens is what he's got. Or it'd be a red and 2 purples.
One advantage. One advantage.
He smiles. Well, studying is always useful.
Right.
But you can clearly tell by sensing some of his emotions, he was slightly amused by that, but at the same time, he knows you weren't telling the truth.
It's a gift and a curse.
And then you come back.
Right before he comes back.
Oh, okay.
This is just, nobody notices this at all. Using force sensitivity to try and sense another force user in the area. I'm trying to see if what's her name is nearby.
Oh, yes, she is.
Wait, can I tell where?
Right behind you.
No, that's fine. I mean, is she in the next room over? And
She's a few rooms from you. How long does that last?
as long as I concentrate on it.
Okay. Are you going to concentrate on it for a little bit?
I was going to concentrate for a second to see if I could determine how to get to her.
Oh, go out the door, turn left, head down the hallway.
So while they're discussing that, I'm actually going to unobtrusively step back and slip out.
As soon as you step out, there's 2 security guards that are waiting right there.
I was going to say, does she step out, and do I see her step out as I'm approaching?
You might see me step out as I'm walking down the hall.
Like, as you're coming out, and I'm, like, maybe turning the corner, and...
You
I think
you would be coming up the opposite way that she's going.
Yeah, so you might see me walking away.
Yeah.
Correct.
With,
yes.
I presume, a security guard or 2 is following me.
Yep.
Okay.
And actually, as soon as you start walking down the hallway, you see her walking towards you.
I just give her one of those sup looks and got a second to talk looks.
Does Tazi see the woman as well? Toward
That's up to Tazi.
Well, no, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I was going to have it where you kind of run
so
into
I
her.
see, I see the 2 of them. I see Karrell meet her in the hallway.
Yep.
Then we both step into like a side room.
Okay, that's not good.
You going to go back in the main room with the other guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the
All right.
weapons in.
So you walk in that room. You still see Kaio and the lady standing there talking to Rafe.
Kaio's managed to score some snacks.
Yep.
Rafe, these are samples of the weapons.
He walks over.
Yinchorri we're using.
He walks over and picks up one of the scimitars, and he's like, "Oh, these things are rather large, a little awkward." And then he takes one and kind of spins it around a little bit, and you can tell he's got a little bit of training with one.
They use these instead of the blasters more often than not because they're more brutal.
If they're about fear, then yes. Cutting and spraying blood is much more effective than just blasting a hole in somebody.
How do you know so much about that?
Simple logic of fear. Would you rather watch somebody get shot and fall down dead, or watch them get cut in half and have their blood all over you?
Kaio shrugs.
And then
where did
Rafe,
Karrell go?
Rafe, if I might ask, is your wife nearby?
can we drop that?
Right, is your assassin nearby?
I was trying to.
She's always here.
I was trying to be a little more
Yes,
political with the other guards in the room, and
he has to drop it.
I meant drop the wife, but she is here.
she's nearby.
Yes,
Do you know if Karrell has any business with her right now?
possible. They have similar interests.
Do they?
Well, minus the assassin part.
Well, come now. You're going to say she's not?
Not always.
Well, I mean, not for you all the time. I mean, fair. Your companion, whatever you want to call her. That's fine. Doctor.
Rafe, aside from the assassin parts, can you elaborate a little bit on what they have in common? Because I think I'm in the dark here.
Does weird jump ring a bell to you?
Yeah, yes, the jump stands out, certainly. What do you...
They are making this so difficult.
He looks at you. Correct. They both can do that.
That's a force thing, right?
Pretty sure. Karrell wouldn't tell me about it, but...
Or some races have drugs that enhance their abilities. Mechanical attachments on your body and do things like that.
Okay, do you know why Karrell would go talk to her?
The last... Maybe. I would hope not.
This is a lot more vague than I would appreciate right now.
Right, well, present company.
Oh, I have no secrets.
True. You do not lie.
Well,
Rafe seems to know more about this relationship than we do.
No, from what I can understand, the last time she left, she basically was like, hey, if you want to talk and finish your training...
Training?
Force training would be my guess. I mean, I work with them. I'm not exactly like in-depth knowledge of what they do. Other than move things with their mind and jump around and cut things with lightsabers.
Okay, well, obviously Karrell feels like she had something she needed to speak to her about, so...
I guess so.
What are we going to do about this planetary situation? And then I would say the wipe happens,
okay.
and we go to...
We go over to Karrell and Tassar. Mm-hmm. It's good that you came back to see me.
We had reason to be here. Look, I was hoping to ask for a favor.
I'm listening.
I'm looking for a Dantooinian crystal. And it's a long way from here. I don't know if I can get the boys to drop everything to go across the galaxy as a favor.
That's an interesting request. I will have to make some inquiries. It's not something I would normally go looking for.
I understand. You just happen to be the only person in that area of resource that I know. Well, not anymore.
Would it not be more beneficial to train you how to use your emotions?
That is not the path I have chosen.
Denying what's natural is, well, limiting yourself.
To master one's emotions is the path I have chosen, not to deny them.
But isn't utilizing them mastering them?
At times, but they also can master you.
Only if you lose control.
Karrell nods her head as if you have a point.
I will see what I can do.
It's appreciated. I do not know how long we will be on planet. Here's a private comm code. You can reach me on the ship if needed.
All right, thank you.
If you do not know of anybody that has one, but maybe who could offer passage to Dantooine, I might be interested in that as well.
Very well. Are you going back up to the main room?
Yes, I probably should.
Oh.
My absence has surely been noticed.
Well, that's where I was headed.
Shall we?
Yes.
Yeah. After a minute later,
Yeah,
they walk in together. Karrell just walks in the room, but just kind of steps to the left and then leans against the door.
Kaio says nothing.
Like she's just slipping back into the room.
You'd have to go on the other side of the guard. There's a guard on either side of the door.
No, then she actually just leans against the guard, then, and then steps aside, obviously uncomfortably. Wasn't paying attention, just kind of leans against the corner.
Ladies.
Kaio says nothing.
Hello, gentlemen.
Kaio says nothing.
Nice to see you again. She walks over and gives you a hug. She gives Tazi a hug. And then puts her hand out to shake Kaio's hand.
Kaio nods at her. And he's standing there with his arms folded. Has said nothing since she walked in.
Tazi's gut feeling is to check his holster.
Oh,
But no, he doesn't do anything. But if his skin
skin
could
is
physically
crawling.
crawl, you would see his skin physically moving, and also his fins. If you had fins, his fins would also be moving. He doesn't have those, so we don't have to worry about that.
I mean, Kaio is the closest one to having fins.
Right?
True.
Your tentacles ripple.
They do. It's scary.
It's as if you had a tentacle fro for a moment.
Fair.
You notice right now, there's a very feeling. Her emotions are very calm and peaceful and comfortable. She's at home.
Interesting. Still don't like it.
So
Can
what brought you
is there
back?
anything we can do? Not to interrupt, I apologize, but we were talking about this planetary situation. Is there anything we can do to help, or is there anything you can do to help?
Rafe, possibly. I'll have to make some inquiries. I have some allies that could potentially help.
Oh, the longer this takes, the more of their people are dying horribly.
And if I can posit, they don't just stop at one. And you're not exactly a long flight for them.
That would be a mistake on their part.
We
have far better defenses than a few thousand.
Right. That's fine. I'm just letting you know. There's a lot of planets that thought they have better defenses than a few thousand, too.
I appreciate that.
They did seem very, very brutal and very determined to win at all costs.
Well, but they're still going to need to keep people there to work.
No, that's not.
Fear.
That's not what they do. They murder. They take what they need. They leave the planet. They go murder another planet. Take what they need. And usually, about the second or third planet, it starts to reach other planets sooner than they do, and most people just kind of die.
I wonder where they've been for the past decade.
Last I saw them, they were gone. There was a big battle. Seemed like everything ended. They broke the siege, and they were gone.
Well, I would assume then that they had to regroup and rebuild their numbers. Do we know where they scattered? Well, I'll have to consult with my allies and other politicians and see what we can do.
That's fine. Thank you for your consideration. We'll leave this woman in your care, and we'll be on our way.
She'll be taken care of. And in the meantime, please feel free to be my guests here. They can show you to your rooms.
Thank you.
Sure, right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Tazi nods and turns to walk out of the room.
The guards escort you to a couple nice little rooms.
I didn't plan on staying.
I didn't quite plan on it either.
Be rude not to at least stay a little while.
When we were escorted to the rooms, do the guards then leave, or are there guards posted outside our rooms?
They didn't post anything outside.
Okay.
So when Karrell said it would, like when you said you were, it would be rude of us not to stay, Kaio basically stands up, walks out the door, shuts the door, leaves the other room.
All right, this has got to stop. I get on comm. Kaio, come back, please, immediately.
Kaio's like 5 feet out the door, turns around, comes back.
Come on, computer.
Both of you take a seat. Please.
I'll stand.
Please sit. This is going to be a little while, I have a feeling.
Kaio plops down, puts his feet up on the table, because he has no respect for this furniture.
Karrell,
Yes. What?
would you mind taking a seat?
Okay.
So let's just talk about the bantha in the room. And the bantha in the room is that we have some communication issues right now. And part of that might be me being maybe a little too gruff, maybe a little too lackadaisical in some things. Part of it might be trust issues. I don't know what it is, but it gets hashed out now because we cannot keep going forward like this. One person gets angry, they leave. One person gets offended, they leave. We can't work together effectively like this at all. We're lucky we've gotten as far as we have. So what's going on? I honestly feel like I'm missing a big part of whatever this is.
Kaio just kind of shrugs and puts
Don't
his hand
shrug, use your words.
I don't have any.
That's a bold-faced lie. You always have words.
It's alright, it's not a big deal.
It is a big deal. You just walked out of the room.
Right. We were staying, right? So I went to go sit down.
You're sitting now.
Right. Great. So, perfect.
Fine. Karrell, what's going on? Why? What have I done to offend you so much that you don't seem to want to spend any time with anybody on the crew? You'd rather be angry in your room than out among the rest of the ship.
There's nothing to be done. It's
Nothing to be done?
work's work, and if there's no work to be done, I spend time in my room. You spend time in the cockpit, he spends time in his gunnery pod. We all have places we go to when we want to be alone.
Me going to the cockpit doesn't always involve me slamming the door loud enough that it could be heard through the entire ship.
Okay, maybe I can tweak that program just a little bit. That was only once.
No, there's no program because those doors are broken.
Well, that the bedroom doors are, yes.
Yes.
Those have to be slammed manually, which is surprisingly cathartic.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting through to anybody. So, if this is a way that you want to continue having a relationship or trying to work together as a crew, that's fine.
Not much of a crew, to be honest.
Can you elaborate?
There's no privacy. There's very little leadership, to be honest. It's a matter of people doing whatever they want whenever they want to do it. And everybody's emotions and feelings be damned.
Can you give me an example?
Well, you spend most of your time drunk, to be honest. And when somebody obviously doesn't want to talk about things, they get verbally goaded until they get angry and have to leave.
To be more specific about this particular example, you seem
Every
to be
one of us,
upset.
I'm very sure, has things in their past they do not want to talk about. Things that they maybe are running from. Things they don't want to share with people they've known for 3 weeks. However, there seems to be no awareness that people are sensitive about those things.
Sensitive about the past. I've been pretty open about my past, and I've been pretty open about the past of this ship, and I've been pretty open with pretty much every flaw I have. I think you'd pretty much agree.
I am not pushing or really asking. I don't know you well enough.
You're not bothering to try either.
Well, I don't think it's my place, after again, knowing you only 3 weeks, to wonder, why is this person so driven? Why is he drunk all the time? What is he running from?
Do you find yourself asking yourself those questions?
No, I find myself asking those questions about you, but they're not of my business at this point. We are not friends at this point. We are a collection of people going through space with very little other than convenience going for them.
Okay, then.
And the fact that we've, I think on a number of occasions, saved each other's lives, that kind of shows there's a bond there of some kind.
No, it must have been a matter of convenience.
The beginnings of one, yes. But it's not an all-inclusive pass into everyone's life.
Look, if you happen to be a force sensitive, because we're going to talk about this now, if you happen to be, it is a big deal for us to know that. You know why? Because that people like the woman out there who wants to train you, to make you something, that means something to these people. I've seen it firsthand. And you're going to tell me it doesn't matter to me whether I'm going to live or die because you're going to keep something secret? You want to know where I'm from? I was in the Yinchorri rebellion. You know what happened? I saw people like you, beautiful little people, dying everywhere, murdered by these people, ripped apart because something made these things go after them. I don't know. You won't tell me. I don't know. That's why I got upset. That's why I left. But it's a matter of convenience for you whether or not we're friends now. I get it. No, that's good. That's good.
It's not a matter of convenience. Friendship doesn't happen instantly.
I guess that's where we differ then. Because I felt like we were friends. I felt like we had something very special because we did do things that people, even if you were just conveniently together, we took care of things. We went to the Senate. We talked to people who, it was ridiculous. This is like, 3 weeks happened, but everything happened in 3 weeks. I've had more things happen to me than I've ever had other than like the time I ran away. But that's fine. As I told you, I'll let you do what you do. But we decided to have this conversation, and you decided to say stuff.
Well,
so
we actually didn't decide to have this conversation. This conversation, like all the conversations, seem to get forced upon us by outside events or outside people.
I don't mind talking, obviously.
And that is your way of doing things.
True. 100% true.
Which is, I have no problem with that. Personally, I have no problem with you other than you would not let things go when I obviously did not want to talk about them. I had to actually bluntly tell you, I do not want to talk about this. You had no concept of hints.
What? No. Right.
Once I will give you that. Once I said, I do not want to talk about this, you let it go.
Yeah.
But then when I turned right back around, other people were not letting things go.
Well, I mean, that's not me, though.
I am not stupid. I hear whispers. I hear... this ship has not very thick walls for a starship.
Sadly, no. It's on a paper.
So, I have things in my life that are private. I want them to stay that way, at least for now. They're not something I want to share with people I have met for 3 weeks, whether I consider them friends or not.
So, let me just get this straight. I want to make sure we're being clear. When you say other people, you mean myself and A1, I would assume, as there are only 4 of us on the ship. So if you have a problem with me, have the problem with me and state that it's with me. Don't be vague. Don't be shy. Say, I have a problem with something you did, Tazi, and confront me about it.
I have a problem with something, actually, of all of you 3. A1 is the one I've had the least problem with over the past couple days.
Probably because he can't talk, but now he can. He'll probably do
No,
something.
actually, A1 is the one I understand the most right now, which is blowing my mind, to be completely honest. He is currently he doesn't give a womp rat's ass about anything but whatever he wants to do at that moment. He has no concept of privacy because he doesn't have any. You both have concepts of privacy and things you, in your life, may want to keep secret. I mean, did I pick on you constantly? Did bother you constantly for sleeping with that girl?
Yes, actually you did. 100%.
Then I owe you an apology.
Fine.
Because that wasn't my place.
I didn't care. I mean, it's a joke. I don't really mind.
I just have some things that I don't want to talk about.
Right.
And as I said, you and I seem to have come to an understanding about this.
Right. Well, again, look, the only reason why I got upset like a few moments ago is because, again, I'm not talking to you about it, but you talking to that woman does not make me feel good. You do understand why I can think that, right?
I'm asking her to look for something for me.
I get it. I don't want to know, right? I want to keep you having your privacy, as we have stated. I'm just saying you can understand my concern, knowing what she is, right?
Yes.
Okay? Knowing what maybe you are. Again, not asking, not prying, not just making assumptions of what I understand things to be. Knowing what you could be, talking to her in private, asking her for I don't care. Don't tell me. That's fine. Can have a modicum of concern, right? When you look at it that way, right?
Are you done talking? Because I wanted to say right like 3 times, 3 rights ago.
All right, 3 rights ago then.
Yes.
Right.
I understand that.
Okay, well then. There we are.
So
Let me put it this way. I just want to say this.
Karrell gives Kaio this look like, why does he keep talking when things seem to be settled?
Everyone has things they're running from, apparently.
Yep.
Right?
All that. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
If we were willing to go out of our way to help a droid, I think we would certainly be able to take steps to help each other figure these things out. We might not be best friends, we might not be lifelong compatriots, but we are a crew. And if we've proven anything to ourselves over these last few weeks, instead, a crew tries to stick together. So if there's something that you need that we can help you with, I would hope that you would have the wherewithal to come to us and ask us to help. Think about that. We went we almost got killed to get some droid parts so that A1 could maybe not be a murderous droid. And we don't even know if that's going to be the case. We don't know what his path is, but we've given him some options. You guys did the same thing for me with the Karrell and my ship and my family's name. Now, we're obviously still working on a lot of that, but...
Well, the ship.
It's an ongoing process.
But you've taken those steps, you've made those sacrifices for me, and I'm fairly sure we're all willing to make those same sacrifices for each other. I might not be your pal, but I am your captain.
Look, I am not planning on leaving in the near future. Who knows, in months or weeks or months. My goal is not to leave. All right? Is that clear? I just want to make sure everybody understands this before I continue.
That's fine. My expectation wasn't, I didn't believe you were leaving. My concern was more that we were heading into a situation where we were going to be non-communicative to each other. And as a crew, we can't afford that.
When it comes to all things about the ship and whatever we're doing, I agree with you 100%. But I am not a person who shares everything they are with everybody. If you cannot understand that and cannot deal with that, then I will have to leave. I will have to find a new home.
So also understand that when you perform feats that seem amazing to us, or that we find seem amazing to us, we're going to be curious. When you make a large leap, or carry a robot with relative ease, from what Kaio had mentioned earlier.
To be fair, that robot's not that heavy. I mean, Kaio can carry him.
Well, to me, it's amazing. And I point at skinny arms. I do one of these, and there's a little bloop, bloop, bloop. Just understand that there is going to be a curiosity there about how you can do those things. And whether you're force sensitive or not, I don't care. I don't care from the fact that this is whatever that cross is yours to bear. And if we can help you bear it, that's great. And if you don't want our help bearing it, that's fine too. But just know that when those things happen and they are noticed, conversation or questions are going to be asked. And if you choose not to answer them, that's fine.
Yes, that's... Look, if I want to talk about something, I will talk about it. I will try not to do anything untoward again. I understand you maybe have concerns, and I'm sorry about if I overreacted to those concerns.
And I'm sorry I pried.
And I'm sorry for whatever I did.
Karrell holds up a finger.
That's such a great,
single, hold on one moment finger to Tazi. Just a second. Kaio, are we good?
Yep.
Now.
I think that was a great reaction from Tazi, knowing Tazi.
That was a good reaction. And in honor of that, I will share something with him that pisses me off. I feel that when I signed on board this ship, it was to be the mechanic, to work on things, to fix the ship. And when you ask A1 to do things that I'm perfectly capable of and that I feel are things that I should be taking care of, you are saying to me, you're not doing a good enough job. I don't trust you to do this. I would like this murder bot practical joker to save our lives. That's how that makes me feel.
Okay. So you're the chief engineer now, and A1 kind of reports to you, which is what I said earlier.
However, that means I'm responsible for him now too.
No, that just means
I was not going to take the job at that point.
Yeah.
If you have tasks that you need done that you need to delegate, you would delegate them to A1. A1 has been given tasks to look at things to possibly improve on the ship. That will also go through you. If A1 finds something he would like to improve, he will come to you. You will review what he would like to do and approve.
As long as I am blameless for his practical jokes. I did not code that in.
No. He's a crew member of his own accord, and if he practically jokes me, as I expect it will happen again, multiple times. Again, we've given him essentially free will, I guess.
Kind of. Yeah, pretty much.
He's responsible for himself now. His
All right.
his mistakes, his successes and failures will be his.
All right.
And that is how I see your position on the ship. You are the chief engineer.
Then,
In
on
the,
a related note, what do you do? I see you shoot things, I see you medic things, and you cook things.
he medics things.
Yes.
You know, like that arm that's not peeling apart.
No, you gave me a drink,
Yeah, look at your arm. Actually,
but you gave me a drink.
So he is also the bartender.
sure. I guess
You
that's
gave me a
fine.
drink, and then you gave me the shot.
And then I also
So
bandaged it up.
But I'm saying, like,
To him, I just gave him a drink.
yeah, because
Right,
you
yes.
gave me a drink, and then all of a sudden, like, I come back out of my alcoholic haze, and I feel better.
Right. Yes, I give him drinks.
You might be the reason the golden drinks make me think they heal me or are providing me some kind of benefit.
Well, fair enough. Yes, I give him drinks. I guess.
Something to think about. Maybe we should have an established chain of command. It's something I am sort of used to from other ships, and then maybe it's not needed, but that way everybody knows what they're responsible for.
Kaio, what do you want to do?
Well, I heal you guys. That's kind of what I do, and I shoot things.
Okay, so you're shooting things in the gunnery bay.
I think we all are shooting things on one point
But
or
I'm
another.
really good at it, though.
Chief gunnery officer
Sure.
and chief medic.
Chief security officer,
I am kind
He
of.
does have the flamethrower.
he's got the big gun.
I do. And I get the feelies. It's like on my
Well,
tentacles. It's the feelies.
If we're gonna have a chief medic, then we also should have somewhere the medic can do things.
I've been thinking about that.
We do
Yeah.
have that little closet next to the fresher.
That's already got stuff in it.
That's kind of where A1 sleeps.
And that's kind of where I do my stuff, too.
Actually, technically, I guess A1 sleeps wherever there's a recharge
Slides into
station.
Yeah, it's a charge station. That is a small medical thing. That's where I made all my truth serums. I was thinking about that. I thought about maybe one of those pods. We could connect it up to the Atmo and get some air in there. And
The escape
seal it
pods?
off. Yeah, no.
The cargo pods,
The
he
cargo
means.
pods. We don't really seem to use them.
We haven't
totally.
yet, no, but
It's food for thought, right? I mean, you know.
no, we could. We've proven that we have a need for some kind of dedicated medical station.
And I figure if we land on planets that are not being taken over by, the Yinchorri, I could open it up as a small facility for people to pay money and me be a doctor.
Are you a doctor?
Yes,
I thought you were a medic.
You told me you were not a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
No, you specifically said, look, I'm not a doctor.
You're right. I said that.
You guys don't know
Medic
that.
and
It is
doctor
different.
are two different things.
No, I know that. Yeah.
So you have a doctorate and you're an army medic?
Yep.
It would actually...
I believe you.
That's fine.
atmospherically, it would be easier to just set you up in one of the main cargo holds since the drop pods are designed to break away.
Right, but I think
So we'd have to build airlocks into them.
No, I know.
Which could compromise the structural integrity of the ship.
Good, but I think you're good enough to do it.
But it'd be a lot cheaper.
Karrell has a point. We could build an internal wall into one of the cargo bays easier than building a new.
I figured instead of letting people walk through the entire ship,
we could also build a ramp.
We could retrofit a ladder or a ramp.
all right.
Probably a ramp or a lift, because I'm sure there's people that can't climb ladders that need medical help.
Actually, one other idea we could do.
The Disabilities Acts of the Republic says you have to.
One other thing we could do. And I'm flipping a light side over.
Stupid government telling me what I can and can't do with my ship.
I flipped the light side point here, by the way. We have that auxiliary escape hatch just below the main cargo entrance area. The one that we keep running over and banging our hose on. We could get like a small shuttle to just dock onto the ship, and he could use that as a med bay. And if he when we go to land, he could just land it separately. It'd be a little more expensive, but
The problem with the shuttle is space, I would think.
well,
Most
it would
shuttles,
be on the outside between the two bulk
but
pods.
most shuttles that small would have less space to work into one of our cargo areas.
It would be. Oh yes, I mean the cargo areas are massive. He would be limited to maybe 30 by 60 space at most. We don't have to decide. We'd have whatever it is. It's going to cost credits anyway.
Right. No matter what we do, it's going to cost credits. We can.
We also need to probably look at getting the hull fixed. Yeah. Do we want to do that here, or do you have a better place in mind?
Should Rafe
actually A1's taking care of that with the docking station. As part of that's part of the restock, refit, refuel kind of action.
It's actually more cost efficient if we just get the parts and the location and we do the work.
And apparently don't order the parts from the port. So
nobody orders parts from the port.
So, as chief engineer, you can belay A1's order to get repairs done if you wish.
I'll check with him.
Thank you.
See what he's doing.
He may have already initiated them, so I don't know how efficient he is at this yet.
I'll send him like an email saying, "Hey, what are you working on this, or are you contracting it out?" Blah blah blah.
No. Neither.
Can you see about? I sent him a text saying, "Can you see about getting us replacement hull parts for the parts that are broken? Do a hull survey and then order those, and we'll get to fixing it when it gets delivered." I should have said that in character, but I'm typing, so I don't have an accent.
That's when I get back to the ship.
Oh, I didn't know you were out and about, We'll send somebody back to watch the ship, period. When do you think you'll be back?
A few hours.
Okay.
Where?
I tell you guys,
that was an
A1's
email
left the
thing.
ship, I will go back and take a look at it.
To where?
I don't know. I will go check with the ship.
Comms to A1.
Because he is a free person-ish thing?
He answers.
Free droid.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
A1, where are you at right now?
Parts store.
Oh, look at him not buying things.
Okay, you're out actually shopping manually for the parts. Like going out and shopping.
Yes, shopping.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were going to just have things delivered or if you were going to be leaving the ship.
You told me to. You said get the ship taken care of.
True story.
And
This is true.
ask Kaio if there's anything he needs.
Kaio, is there anything you need?
Like some of the surgical supplies for surgery.
I feel like we had this conversation.
Okay.
We did.
Karrell, is there anything you need for the ship?
We needed a survey done. I'm going back to do it now.
But physically, any
Assuming
parts
we're
or
done.
anything else?
I won't know until we do a hull survey to see what parts we need. Apparently, we also need some new door actuators.
Right, that
Because somebody sabotaged them to fix a problem that could have waited till we landed.
Unless we had someone to shoot.
Yeah, Kaio.
Right, thanks.
Are we done,
You're welcome.
Captain?
I got the door
We are.
parts.
You see, Tazi gets. If you could discern that he's getting choked up from the giant eyes and stuff, he's a little choked up because that's the first time anyone's ever called him
Feelings
captain.
went off.
Within his small cadre of people here. So Tazi is a little choked up. Yes, I think we're done. I think we've broached all the topics we're going to breach for the evening. And if you could look at it upon yourself to maybe stow some of that anxiety or anger about the actuators being removed. Again, that's in the past.
It's your room that's broken now.
That's in the past. We're gonna let that go.
Are you guys coming back to the ship?
We will be back. We have to discuss that.
I would just point out that next time it could be the hyperdrive that he takes the parts from. That's all I'm concerned about. But we'll see.
Have a conversation with him about that. As the chief engineer, that's certainly your purview.
Am I supposed to still be listening? Because you didn't turn the comms off.
No, you're fine. Yeah,
You're
it's fine.
fine.
Whatever.
Okay.
I head back to the
So
ship.
A1, expect that Karrell will be having a conversation with you about removing parts from the ship to replace other things.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I turn off the comms to A1. Actually, we never answered him. I turn the comms back on. Oh, and A1, we will be staying in the facilities here for the evening. We will return to the ship in the morning.
Okay.
Which I volunteered us to stay here for the evening. No, I'm going back to the ship. You're welcome.
Redemption Podcast is played using the Star Wars role-playing system by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Please interact with us on social media, Facebook and Twitter @RedemptionPod, Instagram @RedemptionPodcast. Visit our website, redemptionpodcast.com. Please leave us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or whatever other podcatcher you use. This will help people find us. And if you like us, please consider using Patreon. Our Patreon is patreon.com/redemption. Until next time.